Hi everyone, my name is Jason Ryman, and in this video I'll be going over some of the more advanced uses of SteamPipe. This includes creating new language and platform depots, and also editing packages and creating a branch to test from. So if you recall from the previous video, an app ID is your game's unique identifier on Steam. Depots are the containers for all the files that need to be downloaded by Steam. And packages on Steam are what a customer will actually own, and those can contain multiple app IDs and depots. So for this example, I've already got my content separated out with how I think it should fit for the various depots. I've kind of reorganized things, so I've got all my scripts here, and then I've got a common folder, which is really most of my game, and then a mixture of Windows and Linux binaries. I've created a DLC folder for my future DLC, and then we've got some German-specific files in here. So let's get started by first creating new platform depots for the game. We'll begin at the landing page for the app, and then go to the Edit Steamworks Settings page, and then under Installation and Depots, see I've still got that one depot defined as before, and it's currently set to be Windows only, and I'm actually going to change this to be all OSs now. And then for the new depots that we'll need, we'll hit Add New Depot, and this will give us a list of all the available depot IDs that we could use for our game. So the name I'm giving it, it doesn't really matter here. This name doesn't show up to customers anywhere, so it's only for our own internal usage. And then I'll set the platform for what I want these depots to look like. And after I hit Save Changes, it's always important to make sure that you publish those changes, otherwise it won't actually be live and they won't be able to be used. So now that the change is actually published, the Steam backend thinks the app ID supports those new depots, but we haven't actually built anything yet. So to skip ahead a bit, I already did create some of my new build scripts that I think I'll need, and I modified my existing script to strip out any Windows and Linux specific files that I know I've included now. So here's my common depot script, and then my Windows depot script just takes all DLLs and executables, and then the Linux guy is kind of similar, any SO files and SH files. So if we run this build now, we can now refresh the build page and see that we did actually create the new build. See if it roughly contains the files I think it needs. So this looks like everything I've included. And then there's my Windows specific files and the Linux specific files. So now is a good time to create a new branch that we can use to test with. So to do that, it's also from the builds page here. We'll just hit New Branch, give it a name, and this name is visible to clients to some degree, even if you put a password on it. So if you want to keep something hidden, don't give this a very descriptive name. But for ours, we'll just call it Test. And I will put a password on it as well. And for that, I'm actually just going to give it some random characters. So I've created a test branch here. It's currently not assigned to anything, but we can select this and hit Preview Change. We'll see what we're going from, which is no build at all set, to our new build. We can set that live in the test branch. So now that we've got the build ID live with the new depots, and it's in a branch that we can use to test it from, if I run my Steam client, and actually opt into this branch, we'll see if I can test anything. So to opt into it branch, you'd go to here and then to the betas tab, and then we'll just give it this password. So now we've opted into the branch. You can see I'm downloading the update. And what did it actually give us? So here's where all my updated files are. But unfortunately, I seem to be missing some files. And the reason for that is while we added new depots for our game, my account doesn't actually own those depots yet. So my client's not going to let me download any of that. So here's where we go to actually modify that so we can really test it. So I'm mentioning package before. We'll go back to the landing page here, and then on the associated items page, this actually lists all the packages that our app ID is in. So for testing purposes, the package that we'll typically want to edit are the developer or beta testing ones. In this case, I have the developer comp package on my account. So if I look at this package here, I can see it currently includes my game and then the one depot that it knew about when it was created. So if we hit add or remove depots, we can now see the new depots are here. Select those, and then hit the carefully save button. And if we refresh this, there's the new depots. So now if I restart Steam, get another little update, and there's my missing files. So I've got my Windows files. There's no Linux files because I'm not running Linux here. But now I've actually got the files that I want. So another way to figure out what package you own when you're trying to test from is if you run Steam with the command -dev, that'll give you this console tab here. And from there you can give it certain commands like licenses for app, and then if we give it the app ID, which is this guy, that'll tell us that for the account logged in, these are the licenses I have for the app ID. So it's 39804, which is the guy we modified before. And the reason I own it is from an auto grant because this package is what's associated to my Steamworks partner, and I've got Steamworks access. So typically, if you also want other people to test outside of that via CD keys, you would edit the beta testing package. So again, if you handed out keys for any type of package like this, you would also have to add the new depots to that. So now that I've tested my changes out and I download the new content, it's simply a matter of actually making this live. I want to make sure customers own the new depots as well. So back on the associated packages and DLC page, the store package here listed, which is the one that I would actually be selling for customers. Let's modify that one to include those depots as well. And just to kind of go over packages again. So the real reason why there's multiple packages here for this one app, if we go back here, is the developer and beta testing packages, both that basically grant the app IDs in their playable status. So regardless of whether the app ID is set to not released yet or preload or whatever, if I own the app from these packages, it'll make it playable for me. The store package here that could be for sale will just take whatever the default state for the app is. So if we were selling this title at the moment, it would be unavailable, which means if a customer actually purchased this, they wouldn't see the app ID at all in their library. But this would normally be set to something like coming soon, or preload, or even playable. And in those cases, they would show up in the user's library, and they may or may not be able to be launched depending on that state. But either way, once you actually want to release new content for customers, you're always going to want to make sure and go to all the packages those users could own and modify those packages to include the right depots. So now that I've got the right depots in there, let's go back to the landing page and then actually set this build live. Set that to the default branch, and then we can kind of see the download difference here. I've got 2 new depots, so I can see how big those are going to be. And then it looks about right, so we'll just say hit live. And there we go. We've now successfully made 2 new OS-specific depots and released them to our customers.
Hi guys, this is Blue. I'm now going to show you how to update the new platform in Steamworks and the store admin. Now that the content is live, we want to go ahead and make sure that Steamworks represents the new platform of Linux as well as the store. To do this, you can see on the app landing page on the right-hand side, there's the platform set section. Right now, we only show Windows, so we're going to go ahead and update each of these. You can click Edit in Steamworks. Right here at the top underneath the name, you can click Linux and save. And then you want to go to your Publish tab and go ahead and publish this. After this, I can click the breadcrumbs at the top, the name of the game, and I'll go back to the landing page again. Here I can see now I have it edited in Steamworks, but I still need to update the store page. I'll click Edit, Store Page. And here in the Basic Info tab, you can see the supported platforms down here. I'll click Linux. And then I want to make sure that I've updated my system requirements as well. At this point, I can save at the bottom, and then I can go ahead and preview my change in the store before I push it live. You can preview it by clicking the link at the upper right corner that says Preview Change in Store. This will open a new tab and allow you to see the new section at the bottom here, Linux System Requirements. Now that I'm happy with that, I'm going to go ahead and publish that live to public. Now the store page is public. Customers can see the new Linux content. And this is a great time to go to your app landing page and actually utilize a front page visibility round to let customers know about the new update, the new platform that's available. You can do this under the Marketing and Visibility tab. And you can start your visibility round by tying it to an announcement and pushing your game for some marketing on the front page. We'll do another tutorial specifically on this section in the near future.
So with that done, let's now create a new language depot for our game. Now this process is going to be pretty similar to the platform depots. I'll go back to the depots page here, hit add new depot, just take the next available depot ID, and then in this case I'm going to make it German only. Save the changes, publish the change. Now back here, let's create our new depot script for German. And I'll just take the German folder. And I don't really need all those restrictions, not that they have any DLLs or executables. So one change I'm going to make here is in my app build script. I'm going to change it to simply build only the German depot. So with that change, here, let's run this build. So, not all depots built. It's going to skip 3 depots. So now I go here, I see I've got a build ID created that only contains German. It's got all my German specific files in there. Now if I wanted to set this in a branch, like we want to make this in the testing branch so we can test these changes, what it's going to do is take the depots currently that are missing from the default branch and merge that into the branch I want and really make a whole new branch. So here you can see it's merged the build that I created myself with just German from my previous live build because I had some depots missing. So now my test branch contains all the depots. And this is because any branch that gets set live that you want customers to use must contain all the defined depots. So for testing the German depot, I'll again need to add it to my developer comp package. Let's just open this in a new tab. So hit add new depot there. Save that change. Then let's also just add it to the beta testing one. So I've got those in there now. So if I restart Steam here, I can actually see that I've got a language tab. I've got English and German. So I can select German. Steam download the update. And then here I can see that I've actually got some German text there. So it all appeared to work. And again, I'm happy with that. So now let's actually go make that live. So I want to make sure I always edit the store packages or any CD key packages customers might have. Select the depot I want them to have and then hit Save Changes. Now I can actually go make the German language live by going back to my Builds tab and making that the new default branch as well.
Now that we have the German language live in the store, we want to go ahead and update the store page so that customers can see that German is now available. We can go ahead and do that by clicking the Edit Store Page section on the app landing page. And in the Basic Info section, as you scroll down the page, you'll see a supported language area. Depending on the type of language integration that you've done, you can select just the interface, the audio, or subtitles. In this case, we're going to update all 3. I'll go ahead and select German, save this, and then I want to go ahead and preview this before I push it live into the store. You can see this on the right side of the page. You can see languages. I can see exactly which sections I'm supporting. This looks good, so I'm going to go ahead and go back and push this to public on the Publish tab.